Okay, we are back and we are live after quite a big of a hiatus. We are back. So, as always, if you'd like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. I hope everybody's been doing fantastic. As you are logging on, say hello. We are live both on Instagram and on YouTube. If you would like to go over to YouTube, we are screen sharing on YouTube. What's up? What's up? Yes, hello everyone. What's up, Kelby? Yeah, for those of you that are logging on Instagram, if you click on our bio, there's a drop down there for our YouTube channel. Head on over there. We're live on YouTube as well. What's up, guys? Welcome back. I've been off of Instagram and YouTube for so long. I feel like it's been forever. What's up? What's up? Welcome. We got all of our CCTS ladies logging on tonight. and Jared, who was stalking the event the whole time, but boys are not allowed, so he was not there. We are still working on getting everything back from the Ritz, and I know I've missed being on here too. You know, man, I got so sick. And then once I got better from being sick, came cuties time, CCTS time. So it just was one of those things. It rolled, 1 week turned into 2 and so on and so forth. Yes, we had a blast. So what is this whole Jimmy thing? I know it has to do with Kelby, right? I'm hearing Jimmy. I don't know. I'm out of the loop on that inside joke right there. I didn't get that inside joke. I didn't get that memo with the Jimmy thing. So I don't know if it's explainable or not in the comment section. But yeah, we'll just give it a minute for people to get logged on. So my goal this week is to get back to kind of normal with live streams, and I'm going to start updating our Bikini Girl and Bodybuilding World Series as well. I obviously have a ton of footage from CCTS. I have a ton of footage even from the Olympia. We still haven't even talked about like wellness and stuff like that at the Olympia because of me being sick. So the CCTS FOMO is real. I had to wear my cutie crap at the gym. I love it. Yeah, so many people were messaging like wishing they were there. Well, you guys, now you got a whole year. You got a whole year to plan for this. We do this every year. This was our 8th year. So you have no excuses. You have no excuses now. Plan for it. You still remember cocktails? Oh, I don't remember. Okay, we'll talk later, I suppose. I'm like, it's very possible I just don't remember what happened. So, yeah, there were a few of those things. Yeah, that cocktail hour that turned into 3-4 hours, the catwalk that turned into twerking. Oh my goodness gracious. There was a lot of stuff that you just kind of had to be there, and what happens at CCTS stays at CCTS. It is what it is. But for real, as you guys are logging on here, I just wanted to take a minute. If you were there, go ahead and type into the comment bar what your favorite part of the weekend was. Go ahead and tell everybody what your favorite part of the weekend was. I want to take the first half of this live feed to just kind of talk about whatever you guys loved about it. Of course, if you guys have ever been to my CCTS before, you know that we send out surveys so we can get your feedback, so we can always make it better the following year. It is always our goal to come back better. We change things every year. We try to make things better every year. I feel like we do a pretty good job at that. I always say it every year that I don't know how we're going to top ourselves, and then we come out and we do. So if you are on this live feed right now and you were at CCTS, type into the comment bar what was your favorite part of the weekend. It could be a seminar, it could be one of the events, one of the speakers, it could be anything, one of the activities, the hormone discussions, and finding a part of myself I didn't know I lost, my inner beauty and confidence. Love that. Missed you too. The speakers this year were epic, had me take a step back and made some changes to my plans this year. And of course, seeing my cutie sisters. Yes, the community for sure. Focus on mindset. Yes. I have to say, I felt like our content, like our seminars and everything this year were the best seminars we've had ever. personally. I felt like there was a lot of really good, sink your teeth into educational material that you can take and you can apply to your everyday life and to your prep. But I also felt like there was a good mix of get in your feels kind of content too, and really connect with yourself kind of content too. So I think it was a really good mix. Oh gosh, speaker that I felt exposed by, LOL Celeste, relationship with food. I felt like she was talking to me, for me, etc. Yeah, that's a good one right there for sure. The content was right on time. I needed to hear that. Yes, you did, Raven. I saw that from you for sure. Hit home with you. Hit home with a lot of girls. Like I feel like, so after the event was over and I was still there in the ballroom, saying, my goodbyes and everything, I had a lot of women that came up to me and just told me how the content had spoken to them this year. I don't think I've ever had that before, where I literally had a line of women waiting to come talk to me and just tell me how something had touched them or affected them throughout the weekend. And I thought that was really awesome. I don't think I've ever experienced that before at a CCTS. So I was there, for those of you that don't know, I was there in the ballroom for like another almost 2 hours talking to people after the event was over. And just, that part of it for me was actually really cool to see how many people were actually really touched by the whole thing. Love that one of our very own cuties, Brandy, got to speak. Yep. And then she had some powerful words. She absolutely did. She did a phenomenal job too. I'm super proud of Brandy. She has come such a long way. Like, for those of you that don't know, she's been with our brand for several years. And when I first met her, like, barely any words even came out of her mouth. Like, I had to drag her into the bathroom to go get her measurements for her suit. It was hilarious. And now to see her, just blossom into the woman that she is, and just being able to get up there and speak so powerfully on, on really manifesting your goals was awesome. It was really awesome. Let's see, literally contacted Celeste after hearing her on the live stream. That's awesome. Yeah, she brought some really good content. It's funny, I would go into the bathroom or whatever, and I could hear you ladies I could overhear you talking, not knowing that I was in there. It was all good things that I overheard, so that's good. And I heard when after Celeste was done speaking, I heard some ladies talking about how she could talk for another, half an hour, hour and a half, whatever, and keep going on that topic, and you could take it all in. So she had a huge wealth of knowledge. Every one of the speakers, I felt like, had a huge wealth of knowledge, and they gave you, enough of the topic where you felt like you learned. But at the same time, they kind of left you wanting more. Every one of them left you wanting more. And I saw that to the cause and effect too. Like when speakers would get done, again, I would see girls go run up to them and ask them follow-up questions when we had our breaks and things like that. So that was really cool too. I watch all those kinds of things. I see how the interaction is and all of that as well. So Brandy had me in tears. Yeah, Brandy was powerful. We only scheduled 15 minutes for Brandy up there. And yet she was super powerful. I think she went for like 25, but that's okay. It was powerful enough that I kept her going. That was one of the comments I got from one of the ladies too, is she was impressed with how well I kept the schedule going. I was like, I am like this. We are on time. We're on time, you guys, on time. Manifest probably became a focus word for me as we roll into 2023. It is hugely important. It is hugely important. It's amazing how powerful your own mind and your own words can be towards your actions, right? And that was a huge focus of the weekend. And I think that will carry over to a lot of people throughout the year and will really manifest throughout the year, right? I'm curious and I'm excited to see what happens and how, when we get to CCTS next year, how many of you, the things that you have spoken have actually come to fruition and in existence. I'm excited to see how that happens. It's really cool for me. Like when I asked Brandy to speak, she actually was like, this was one of my goals that I set for myself, that I wanted to become a speaker at CCTS. She's like, I wrote it in my notebook that I wanted to become a speaker. I had no idea. I had no idea that she had done that. And so it was really cool to see that come to fruition. And I had a thought when she won her pro card. I was like, this would be really cool to have her talk about all this and how her year played out for her. And it worked out really, really well. So she did a phenomenal job. I thought she was very, very powerful. What else? Anything else that anybody has to add that they loved? I purchased a vision planner already to work on my board and set goals that align with what I want to accomplish this year. Yes. That's something that I do all the time is I set up a vision board. I think I still have photos of it. I wish I had my very first vision board that I ever put together, because I had like pictures of like Erin Stern on there. Erin Stern was my ideal physique back in the day when she was Miss Figure Olympia, so I had all that on there. We do create those. My husband creates vision boards too. We create vision boards of what we want to see our business look like, our family look like, our life look like, and what we want to accomplish. And every year we do this every December. We didn't do it this year because I got sick. So we're going to have to follow up on that probably in the next couple of weeks. We go through all of that stuff. We go through, did we hit all of our goals for the year? Did we make happen what we want to make happen? What do we still have to work on? We do that every single year. And typically we do it in December, but again, I was sick for like 3 weeks, so that didn't work. So we're gonna have to circle back around, right? So facts, I always love mindset things. When I wasn't there, I always try to train my clients' mind at a high level to complement their physique journey. Absolutely. I also love the breakdown of labs. It made so much sense, right? Yeah. Isn't it funny how every single speaker talked about how important it is to get your labs done and your blood work done? Every speaker that got up there said something to that effect, and how it really makes the difference, and how you have to be an advocate of your own health. You have to be an advocate for yourself. As great as modern medicine is, they do not live inside of your body, and you have to be on top of that. I say that all the time, you guys. You got to pay attention to what's going on in your body and outside in your surroundings too, because only you know that at an intimate level. Nobody else does. So you have to be your own best advocate. Make sure you get some, healthcare providers that are your advocates too. Just like Jessica was talking about when her doctor said she needs to step away from work. You know what I mean? Her doctor told her she had to do that. And, you have to find those people that are going to be your advocates, for you, for your health, for your life, as your coaches, all of that. Right. Keeping girls' night at the Ritz was great. We didn't have to endure the cold, and it was nice to have the space to have some fun with the catwalk dancing and fun stories. Yeah. You know what? That worked out really, really well. I knew this year I didn't want to go into the party bus and do all that again. But we checked a few different venues and things like that. And we were talking to our event coordinator there at the Ritz, and he was like, we can just set up the Old Dominion room, and you can have your own little space, like a club lounge. I was like, that's perfect. Let's do that. I know I did miss the party bus, right? So, the reason why we did that the first year was because that was the COVID year. So that was the year when we had all of the capacity restrictions. So we couldn't keep everybody at the Ritz. We had to take you guys somewhere. It was one of those things where we were able to take you to Greenhouse Bistro because they had the overhang, the outdoor area that was boxed in by the plastic. So they were able to host us there because of how the restrictions were set up. So everybody loved it. Everybody loved the hookah bar, all that stuff. So that's why we did it again last year. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, this whole party bus thing takes like an hour out of our night at least. I'd rather try to keep it relatively close so that we can stay inside. Or, you had the Galleria. So we were thinking about doing someplace in the Galleria, but obviously we stayed at the Ritz. And I thought it was perfect. I thought it worked out so well. Miss everyone already. It was so awesome. Yes, Celeste. So Celeste is on Instagram. We have a bunch of people over on YouTube. If you want to pop over there, Celeste, they were all just complimenting you and how much they loved your talk. So yes, you were just the topic of conversation right before you logged on. Let's see. The Ritz was amazing. Customer service was outstanding. Yes. And I will say too, that this year, again, 2 years ago when we first were there, it was the COVID year, and they did a fantastic job, but you don't get your normal, your normal level of service because they weren't able to. There were just so many restrictions in place and things like that. Last year, there were still some restrictions, but most of them were lifted, and they were going through renovations, all that kind of stuff. So I felt like this year was the first year where we were able to have that full on like Ritz-Carlton experience, if that makes sense. Like they did a really, really good job. Our bartender there, Sergey, whatever his name was, he was so cool. I didn't even have to tell him what to pour me, and he had it ready for me everywhere. Every time I went to the bar, he had it ready for me. They did so great. The staff that catered to our party, they were awesome. I got so many pictures and videos from them. Well, that was pretty awesome. I think check it on YouTube. There you go. Check it out on YouTube. Yes, we're live on YouTube too. For those of you on Instagram right now, we are live on YouTube as well. To the ladies who maybe regret not being there this year, start stashing a little bit of money each paycheck or each month, so that when next time you're at CCTS 2024, so impactful on us. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we did we have cheesecake? I can't remember if that was one of the options. We had a lot of desserts. We did have a lot of desserts. I just can't remember what we had. Like my husband picked all the food orders. I didn't pick the food. What did I have? I had various desserts, but I didn't have a cheesecake. I think we had some kind of cheesecake at one point. So Friday night there was desserts. Saturday night there was desserts. Saturday and Sunday during the day there was desserts. And Sunday night there was desserts as well. There was desserts at every single function, you guys. So, but if there was cheesecake, then there were mini ones and there was no crust to be stolen. Oh gosh. Yeah, he knew exactly what we were drinking the whole time. He was great. He said very little words, but he knew exactly what everybody wanted the whole time. He was our bartender the entire event. It was awesome. So the crust. Yes, the crust. Yep. And I did lose my voice a little bit yesterday from Saturday, Sunday. Really, where the main place where my voice got damaged was at the Cutie Catwalk night, because we were all screaming over the music the whole night. The s'mores cream puffs and the donut bread. Yeah, I had the donut bread pudding. That was really, really good. I did have that. So yeah, everyone's safe. Everyone's safe. Anything else that you guys wanted to add about maybe something that we haven't touched on yet that you really loved about the event, that you can't wait for next year? Can we discuss the bread and the meeting mixer? Yeah, everybody loved the bread on the Friday night mixer. The bread was really good. I have to admit, it was very, very good. They were all like, "Where did this come from, and how do we get more?" The bread. Yeah, Jared, you never take the crust. Never take the crust. Now you know. Yeah, everybody said how good that bread was on Friday night. Yeah, it was so funny. I mean, overall, all the food is really good. I'm a big breakfast person, so I was a big fan of the breakfast. Like my favorite part was the yogurt at breakfast. That was my favorite part of all of it. I'm a big yogurt fan anyway, so it was really, really good. So. You guys are cracking me up, man. You guys are cracking me up. Oh, I love it. Oh God. Yeah, the food, the drinks, all of that stuff was definitely off the charts. They did a really, really good job with all of that. What did you guys think of our sponsors? The ones, massages while you were there. Did anybody try the Cool Tone? Anybody try Cool Toning? That's the one that I do all the time with trying to grow that density in my glutes. So that's Jennifer and the Cool Contours ladies are the ones that I go see all the time. Love the breakfast frittatas. Yeah, those were good too. Yep. Overall, we love the Ritz anyway. We go there, like my husband and I do little mini staycations. And when we do that, that's like our number one place that we go all the time. Yeah, Massage Hope. I may have to move there for Sundays with shows, right? Yes, absolutely. Whenever you're in town, book yourself a massage. Yes, the massage was everything I needed to have. I know the one thing I was upset about the whole weekend for me is that I didn't have time to sit down and get a massage myself, right? The popcorn. I had the popcorn mousse too. That was really good. Those are like two of my favorite things. I love popcorn and I love mousse. So I had that as well. Yes. The massage was great. You need to fly back for more body work, right? They know what they're doing, man. I'm telling you. So that's one of the things when I finish up here, I'm going to shoot a message over because I got to get a massage booked. I go see them every 2 weeks. And I got out of the habit again because of being sick. So I really need to get work done really bad. Johnny sent me a really nice message after the weekend was over about how much he loved all you guys. He had a fantastic time being the only guy in the only guy in a room full of like 60, 70 women. Yeah. He had a good time. Yes, the chocolates were amazing. Everything was so good. Yes. One of the more powerful moments to me was watching the speakers off the stage, their genuine joy, enthusiasm, engagement while other women spoke. Yes, I love that part. Watching everybody sit there, like the speakers sit and actually like absorb what the other speakers. This is what I try to tell people. You know, so many of these speakers have come year over year over year, and they sit and they still listen and they pay attention and they learn. I do. Every year I learn something. Every year I learn something. It's a phenomenal like lessons, you know. Yes, I need to get a massage with them when I come to SWS. Yes, book it 100%. Yeah. Nicole was yes, Nicole, our photographer, was amazing. Absolutely. She worked her butt off all weekend, and she's already got all the photos up. For those of you that don't know, she's got the photo albums up in the Facebook group. So you can click on that to the Google Drive, and she's doing reels and everything from the video footage as well. So we'll have all those in there for you guys too. So go ahead and grab those photos, share all of that. Make sure you give her credit if you share it. And then for those of you that did photo shoots, you know, she's getting you your edited photos within the next, like, I think she said 3 weeks or so, just to get those done for you. My first year to do the massage, and they were so thoughtful with my injury and suggested areas that would help. I got off that table walking straighter. That's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, they do I try to tell people they're different than going and just getting a massage. It's therapy. It's actual therapy. They work on those areas that you need to improve. It's a difference. It's a very big difference, right? Yeah, she was so amazing and professional. Absolutely. Yep. I did it all. Makeup, lashes, cool toning, massage, and the instructions on the DIY tanning. I love it. You took advantage. LSR was amazing. They could answer any questions and made me excited to get tan this year. Yeah, I love Marilyn. She's the best. Like, anytime I'm at a show with her, she and I sit and we'll talk for hours and hours and hours. They just really are very passionate about what they do and want to see you have a great experience. Same thing as I do. Very, very passionate about what they're putting out there. And they'll do anything they possibly can to make your experience great and make sure you have a good tan too. Let's see. Yes, I saw Natalie. She was on my flight back and she said I inspired her. And I was like, me? Yeah, right? Yes. You have no idea how any one of you on this live stream right now could inspire somebody else just by being you, right? It's so true. That's so true. Yes, you are, Brandy. Yeah, frankly, I wondered, is it still appropriate to attend as a pro? Damn straight. We are never done learning. Yeah, if you notice, there's a lot of women that came this year, and this is happening as we grow too, that they started as an amateur and they're still coming as a pro because we all are still learning. You know, Julia says this all the time. She's like, I think she's been coming for 4 or 5 years at this point. And she's like, I just love coming because I sit and I learn myself. And Julia's been on the Olympia stage 4 times. You know, you're never done learning, ever. You're never done learning, either as an athlete, as a coach, any of those things, right? You're always going to pick up something. And again, I've been doing this for 8 years and I learned something every single time. Every single time I learned something, right? Everyone was so approachable and willing to help and give advice, including the speakers. First time experience was great, and I was happy to connect with so many while I was there. Yes. That's one thing, you know, I mentioned this, I was talking to some of the speakers at the banquet, the awards banquet. And, you know, I talked to them about how I choose people to come and speak. While it's cool that they're Olympians and they're pros and things like that, I mean, we have everyone from, you know, Celeste is an NPC competitor. And then we have brand new pros, and then we have Olympians. We have people that are every walk of life when it comes to where they are in their competitive journey, but they have something to offer as far as knowledge is concerned, right? I don't care if they won the Olympia or if they won the Arnold or if they won this show or if they won that show. What I care about is if they can actually bring knowledge and share that part to you so that you can learn and you can grow and you can be better as a competitor and as a person, right? Though the people that I choose are ones that I know are going to be impactful, that are going to be able to be willing to help and to give advice and do those things like you mentioned, and to help you grow as a competitor. Those are two very different skill sets. Being a great competitor and being awesome on stage is one awesome skill set. Being able to teach people is a completely separate skill set. Being able to inspire people is a completely separate skill set. So every once in a while you get those two to merge and marry and be great together, but sometimes you don't. So I choose people that I know are going to be able to impact you in a positive way and help you to grow and become those better competitors and just become better people too, right? Just being you, inspo. Yes. Anything else that you guys wanted to cap off CCTS with? Now, obviously, I'm going to be putting out more videos, more pictures, more posts, more social media content, all as much as I possibly can. You know what I mean? I love how everyone is so open and real. We had such an amazing time just enjoying strong, empowering women. The energy this weekend was amazing. Absolutely. It sure was. Every part, the speeches, the events, all of the just breakfast, sitting and talking to people at breakfast over coffee. You know what I mean? So adding new competitor besties. Yes. And that's the thing too, the girls that you met this weekend are all ones that you can go to shows with and compete with and travel with and have fun with throughout the whole competitive journey, all of that. Yeah. I love that you had a team. It was super fun. Yes. Anything else, guys? Oh, a theme. Okay, makes sense. I thought you meant like our AV team. I thought that's what you meant. Theme. Yes, I love the theme too. The cheetah theme was fun. A lot of fun. Yes. At one point I said, I'm waiting, Jennifer. I'm waiting for the end of this comment. Mama Cutie energies. Yeah, even Mama Cutie. Everybody said that to me this year. They said, man, you're having more fun this year. And I did. I don't know why. I don't know what was different. I really don't. I really don't know what was different this year over the other years, but I absolutely had a lot more fun this year. Getting up and learning how to dance, learning the wobble and whatever the other one was. I remember the name, the wobble, but I don't know what the other was. Yes, Jessica. There's Jessica right there. Still riding the high from this weekend. Yes. I love the theme. Now I'm seeing everything. Cheetah print, trying not to buy it. I know, right? I know that cheetah print, man. It's all about it. All about it. Yes. I'll be riding this high for a long time, you guys. Like already, it's so funny because I definitely sit and it was funny because I was going through all the social media posts and stuff yesterday. I'm sitting there on the couch. It took me hours to go through all the social media stuff, by the way. And my husband just looks at me and he's like, man, you got like the CCTS hangover, don't you? I was like, yeah, pretty much. And that lasts for a long time. And at the end of the day too, as I go through the rest of the year, I always think back to this and the things the lessons we've learned, the fun that we had, the things that we did, and it inspires me to keep pushing throughout the rest of the year as well. So, it's as amazing of a weekend as it is. It's one of those things that lasts. It's one of those things that continues to help you as you go throughout your year and throughout your competitive journey. And you always can reach back to it for knowledge, live stream link. There is not a live stream link to pin on the Facebook page. The live stream was only available during the live stream. So that brings me to some other pieces of this. So our AV team recorded everything, right? So they are going to start uploading videos into the Facebook group. Okay. So there's no link to go to. The actual seminars are all going to be uploaded into the actual Facebook group so that you can go back and watch them. Right. So there's no link. Like it was a Zoom. It's like if you're on a Zoom call, when a Zoom call is over, it's over. That's what this was. So you can't go back to it. Right. They have to go through and repurpose and render all of the video so they can put it back up into the group. Okay. The post-show high, go eat a cheeseburger and calm the emotions, LOL, or in this case, get back on your macros and then make decisions. Yes, you know, yep. Speaking from personal experience right there, Jennifer, I know. Yes, don't make decisions from an emotional place. Don't make decisions from an emotional place right there. Yeah, that part. So as you look at the ticker on the bottom here, so the next thing that we've got up is our annual athlete search. So be paying attention because that stuff is going to start coming up. So some of you earned sponsorships while you were there. Some of you got renewed sponsorships with me while you were there at CCTS. We had two of our pro performers won their overalls. They already have sponsorships for life. That's Jennifer and Brandy. And then we had renewals. We had Annalise and we had Kelby with renewals. And then who did we add on? We added on Tanisha. And who am I missing? I'm missing one person. I can't think off the top of my head. Who am I missing? Oh my God, who am I missing? Now I feel bad. Who am I missing that we brought on? Somebody help me out. I'm about to pull it up on my Facebook and I don't even know what I'm missing. Am I missing somebody? I am, right? Rachel, yes, thank you. I was like, I know there's somebody I'm missing and I'm going to feel bad. So yes, Rachel, we added Rachel. We added Rachel and Tanisha on. So brand new athletes that we added on this for sponsorships this year. So when we go to the athlete search, that's coming up. Yes, the pink suit twin. Yes. You guys both worked it. Like that confidence was there, man. Absolutely, 100%. We are going to go into the athlete search very, very soon. So be paying attention because when I get on live, I will remind you of this stuff, right? So make sure that you're following us. Make sure that you've got our notifications turned on. Make sure that you're paying attention to our emails. I know we send out a lot of emails, but they go to spam, all that stuff. Whitelist those emails. You want to be in the know if you want to become a sponsored athlete this year. We always do this right after CCTS. We roll right into that athlete search. So that's what's coming up next. So it's coming very, very quickly. So pay attention. If you're here on Instagram, make sure you're following us. You got notifications on. If you're here on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed. You've got notifications on. You're commenting, you're liking, you're all of those things so that you can stay in the know. It's going to make a big difference. All right. Jen, her walk is fish. Yeah. Yes, Rachel's did that walk. Rachel, you guys, some of you guys have some killer walks, man. So I just started working with those new shoes, the Olympia 2.0 shoes, and I'm like, oh my God, I can walk better in these. Holy shit! Like it's so crazy. I have to work on it still, but I'm like, oh, I can turn, I can move. Oh my God, I'm gonna channel like my inner Rachel, my inner Jennifer. Who else? My inner Talia. She had a great one too. Like there's some girls that got some killer walks, man. I gotta channel that shit. So. Oh my God, everybody was awesome. So, and it was just really cool to see everybody kill it and just have a really good time on that stage too. Just like we talked about with the catwalk the night before. I said, I want to see all this confidence on the stage the next day. And a lot of you guys brought it. For sure. Yeah, those Kelly with the burger. Yes. So a lot of the girls have been telling me that they like the Olympians. They're the 4.5-inch heels versus the 5-inch. And they're very different to walk in, but I feel like I can run in them. So it's going to take me a little while to get used to it. It's going to take me a little while to get my movements really smooth with it. But I do actually really like them. So I was surprised at how much easier they were to walk in. So yeah, it just takes a little bit of finessing, takes a little bit of practice, just like anything else. Whenever you change something, it takes a little bit of time. So it goes down to, you just got to practice in it. So yep. Walking on clouds. Absolutely. So, I am really happy with them. And again, I was talking about that too. I mean, I am 5'9", so taking it down 1/2 inch on the heel is probably a good thing. So for me, I think they're going to be very, very good. I do have the strapless. I don't wear straps. I did the double strap on the foot, which is part of the reason why they're going to take me a little time to get used to, because your feet are a little bit more secured inside the shoes when you've got the double strap versus just the front mule strap. But so that's the part, like I can't pivot like I was in the other ones. I can't swing my hip quite the same, which is a good thing. I just have to get used to it. So that's it. So, right. Oh, walk is already money. Absolutely. Yes. So if you're thinking about it, even if you're thinking about just trying them, just give them a try. I've always said the key to a good pair of stage shoes is the fact that you can walk in them. If you can't walk in them, it doesn't matter. They're not great if you can't walk in them, right? So it's a completely different feeling. But again, it's just going to take a little bit of time to get used to them. And I do think that they're going to be way easier on stage, way easier. Like just a few times I've actually posed in them now, I feel like a lot better, a lot more solid. Like when I do my walk to the back and stuff, my glutes don't jiggle like they did in the other ones. And that's just because I have more control in the shorter heel and the shorter arch. So, yeah. So on all of that, while I have you all here, the last part of this live stream, I want to talk a little bit about some things that happened last week in the industry that really had me fired up. But I didn't say anything because I wanted to have a discussion about it, and I wanted to have a discussion the right way, and I didn't want to do it like in my stories and stuff like that, have it come off wrong. So this is going to be in regard to the Arnold and them bumping up the prize money for the men's open. You guys ready? You guys ready for this? So this is something that that I don't know how you guys felt when this announcement was brought out, but I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people had the same sentiment that I did. And that was essentially like, what about the rest of us? What about the rest of us, right? So for those of you that don't know, they bumped up the prize money for the open men at the Arnold by $100,000 to try and get more men to request an invite to the Arnold, because the Arnold is an invite only. Let's get into it, right? The Arnold is an invite only competition. So you have to apply to get accepted. It's not a normal pro show where you can just show up, sign your contract. You have to actually apply. So the men's open, they had 8 competitors on the list. And the reason why they had 8 competitors on the list is because they only had 8 competitors apply. So they only had 8 competitors apply for the Arnold and the men's open. And then once the list came out, like 2 people dropped off because of being tired. Their bodies weren't, whatever. They needed their time, needed their rest. So they got down to 6 competitors, I think, total in the men's open, which is crazy. Like I've never seen an Arnold with only six men's open competitors. So the Arnold response to that was, okay, we're gonna bump up the prize money by $100,000. So the men's open purse for the Arnold for the winner is now $300,000. What I'm about to talk about here is not a knock on the men's open by any stretch of the imagination, but I want to have an open discussion about this because for a very long time, right, where did they find another $100,000? And this is what I'm going to talk about. So for a very, very long time, since the inception of the bodybuilding world, right, the men's open are the ones that the focus was on, that sells the tickets, that puts the butts in the seats. I get that. I completely understand that. No, figure has been out for a couple of years now. So I understand that philosophy, I understand that concept. But the issue is now we have a crap ton of other divisions, right? And I'm not just talking about the women either. I'm also talking about classic physique. I'm talking about the men's physique divisions as well. And just while I'm sitting here talking, I'll go ahead and I'll pull up the list of qualified athletes. Hang on, let me share the screen here for you so that you can see who's actually on the list for these divisions, right? So we're at 9 guys now for the open. We're at 8 for classic physique, 10 for men's physique, 9 for fitness, 10 for bikini, 9 for wellness. Okay, so they want 10. That's what they want. They want 10 in each division. That's fine. I get it. I understand that. But the reason why they did this is because the men that were in the open basically were not big pulls. We're not big draws as far as names are concerned and all of that. I understand all of this, right? So I actually don't think that the prize money should have been distributed to the other divisions. I don't think that. I'm actually going to get into this a little bit. Over the course of the last 5 to 10 years, the scope and the reason why people compete in any of the divisions has completely changed, right? It used to be that guys entered these shows, and this was before all of these other divisions came around, and they were going after prize money. That's how they made their living. They went after prize money, they went after contracts, that kind of thing. Now, most of these big time bodybuilders and everybody else in this industry makes their money elsewhere. They make their money through their YouTube channels. They make their money through their social media. They make their money through outside contracts that they have, outside businesses that they have. And the actual purse, the prize money, is the last reason why they enter a show. It's the last reason why they enter a show. They enter a show because they want that title, right? So when we look at those top guys, the reason why they're not entering the Arnold is because they want the Olympia title. They want the Olympia title. And, all but one guy this year fell short of the Olympia title, right? Hadi won it. Everybody else fell short. So everybody was like, why isn't Derek going after this Arnold title? Because he doesn't want the Arnold title. He wants the Olympia title. And I can't fault him for that. They're making more money outside of competing than the $300K that is the draw to actually compete in the show, So the reason why I bring this up and the reason why I want to have this conversation is because I want to have an open dialogue with promoters. I think promoters need to understand that the scope of this sport has changed. Now, I know we're talking to women right now, mostly on this live stream, but how many of you have ever entered a show, or do you even know, have entered a show for the prize money? No one. I don't know a single person in the women's divisions. That could be different in the men's divisions. I don't know a single woman that I have ever spoken to that has ever entered a show because they want to win the prize money. Now, if the prize money was $300,000, that might be different. As a female, we might say, hey, I'm going to enter that show because the prize money is huge. I've heard girls want to enter shows because the trophies were really cool, or the swords or the tiaras were really cool, and they wanted to win one of those. I've heard of that, but I have never talked to a woman ever who has entered a show for the prize money. They enter shows, right? Jessica just said that right here. She's a pro. She's an Olympian athlete. Never, ever entered a show for the prize money. We enter shows as athletes now for various reasons. We want to qualify for the Olympia. We want to earn, now we can't earn points. So we want to earn points. That used to be, not anymore. We want to earn certain points. We want to get in front of certain judges. We want to go to a show because our coach is there. There's various reasons. We want a title. We want the Miss International title, or we want the Miss Olympia title in our respective divisions. We don't enter it for the prize money. Well, I believe this is also the case for the men's open at this point. That never used to be the case for the men's open, but I believe it is the case for the men's open now. I believe that the men's open, they enter shows to win titles. They enter shows to qualify for the Olympia. They're not entering the show for the prize money, right? They're entering the show to earn something that is going to push up their competitive journey, right? They got Nick Walker to get into the show now with the prize money being bumped up. But initially, he wasn't going to do that. You know why? Because he's already won that title. He's already won the Arnold. Now he was third at the Olympia. Now he wants the Mr. Olympia title. So for him, it makes more sense to not be in the show. But, they got him to get in it with that prize money be bumping up, because he's looking at the list. And he's like, none of these guys on this list beat me at the Olympia, so I can beat them all here. Might as well take that payday, right? And what the title is to shoot. Don't ever even know how much people get paid until they bring the checks out anyway. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Right. I went to the crown. Like Shelby got that one. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the show, but the crown was cool. Yeah, right. Exactly. We know the crowns, we know the trophies, things like that. Now, again, if the prize money was bumped up on the female divisions, then maybe that might start luring people a little bit more. But I'm not really sure that would be the case because the Border Clash used to do that. The Border Clash used to give out prize money to the top 10, and it never really brought them a return. They still got the same number of competitors with and without that prize money. Right? Also the warning letter, right? Yeah. So, but a lot of people have dropped out. I mean, there's been, people in every division that have dropped. There's other reasons behind that, but I don't want to get into that right now. But my point and the reason why I'm saying this is because I want to have an open dialogue between athletes and promoters to find out ways where if we took that $100,000 that was just put into the prize money for the men's open, how we could have invested that into the other divisions to help them grow, whatever that may be, through different types of marketing, promotion, whatever it might be. We have to have an open dialogue and sit down and have a discussion, because the course and the way that the bodybuilding world has been growing is different than it was 5 to 10 years ago. It's different than it was 5 to 10 years ago, right? I go to all these shows, right? I was at the Olympia. I sat at the expo and I saw the massive amount of people that were there to watch prejudging for classic physique. Classic physique is going to take over. I said it here now. It is going to be the biggest division in just a few more years. It is going to take over. I saw the number of people. That was the largest crowd and audience at the Olympia, period. It was. And I'm not even talking the women's divisions right now. As you notice, I just said classic physique. I said men. So this is not a women need this and women need that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there is a big sector, a big segment of our bodybuilding world that we need to figure out how to boost even more. Right? And there are ways to do it, but we got to get out of the box. We got to get out of the thought process of the open men are the freak show and they're the ones that sell the tickets and they're the ones that bring in the money. Wellness has become huge when it comes to fans. Huge when it comes to fans. We got to figure out ways to help support that division. And it doesn't necessarily have to come down to prize money. It can come down to other things, other promotional ways of getting fans in the door for these divisions, other ways of growing the eyeballs for these divisions. Now, I personally understand why it's always been the focus on the men's open. I get that. I do get it. But again, times are changing. We have a ton of female athletes in this sport. Let's sit down and have conversations between the athletes and the promoters, coaches, judges, everyone involved, so that we can take this sport to the next level. And we can't sit back and say that women don't sell tickets, because look at what just happened this past weekend was Miss Universe. And millions of people watch that. There are ways to boost this sport that don't involve just dumping more prize money into it. That's the easy route, but that's the old school route. I believe that our sport has evolved. And we don't need, as athletes don't need the prize money anymore. Right? Athletes don't need the prize money anymore. What we need is support. Right? What we need is support to keep growing. Make this more mainstream. Make this something that everybody understands what it is. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about my thought process here and what we need to do in order to grow this sport and grow the, I'm going to pull down so you can see the women's divisions here too, so you can see all of them. There you go. Yeah, I'm entertaining Legion because the stage is big, right? I think Legion is one of the coolest shows out there, like as far as the stage and how they set everything up and with the big, superhero theme and all that kind of stuff. Those are the reasons why athletes do this. They want to have the experience. Just like we talk about with CCTS, people come for the experience. Yeah, you get a lot of knowledge too, don't get me wrong, but you come for the community and you come for the experience. And this is why I wanted to talk about this too, because it ties in together. When it comes to what I do and how I promote CCTS and how I put it out there and how I invest into it, it's something that was never done until I did it, which is scary. It's scary to do that kind of thing. Absolutely. But look what's come from it, right? Look at what has been made from it. Somebody tell me, we got slow on the comments here. So let me make sure we're still here. You're all still here, right? Keep coming with the comments so I know you're alive. Tell me what you think. Type in there. Tell me what you think. I think it's great to have these conversations. I think we need to have these conversations. You have to stand up for what you want. Arrogant of women's conference events, right? We have to get out there and we have to create these changes, right? Oh, that makes more sense. It's like, Brandy, I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm just gonna laugh. Hey, Rachel, we were just talking about you a little earlier, about your sponsorship. Yeah, good. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Yeah, I have no problem with increasing prize money. Sure. Yeah, increase prize money, but I don't think that that's the answer. Right. And again, I'm not trying to take away from the men's open or anything like that. I understand where they're coming from. I understand why they don't want to do the show and why they do with the money being put in. I get all of that. What I'm saying from the other side of this is that I just see so many places where that $100,000 could have been put to better use. And we have to have this conversation. We have to have this conversation. There are so many divisions out there that could be bigger. That could be amazing, right? So let's have a full conversation, right? Times are changing and the conversation is overdue. It absolutely is. We have to sit down and we have to talk about this. The majority of the competitors coming into this scene right now are bikini and men's physique. Bikini and men's physique. And then right past them, we've got wellness and classic. Right? These are the big, emerging star divisions. We need to find ways to boost them so that everybody's happy. So the athletes are happy, so the promoters are happy, so the judges are happy, so the coaches are happy. There are ways to do this. But we do need to sit down and have the conversation. Right? So this is why I say this is my plea to the promoters. Come talk to us. Right? Promoters out there, if you happen to listen to this, I know you want to make money. I know you want athletes in your shows. I know you want everybody to come to your shows. There are some promoters out there that are doing a phenomenal job. They're doing a phenomenal job at growing their sport and growing their shows, growing the industry and everything like that. We all need to sit down and have these conversations together. I think we stopped thinking about the prize because it did get so small and they stopped promoting it with a lot of shows. Yeah. I've been at a workshop where it was brought up, but quickly stopped because they didn't want to address it. Well, we need to. I mean, the writing is on the wall, you guys. If you look at the competitors that are entering these shows, I can't remember a single show in the last 5 years where the open bodybuilders were the biggest class ever. I'm talking NPC. That's your new generation coming up. The new generation coming up in this sport is coming up in bikini, men's physique, classic physique, and wellness. That's your new generation. And there are ways to make all of us successful through that. all of us. And like I said, it doesn't have to be about dumping money into the prize, into the overall prize earnings. It's just not. It's not something that we think about going into these shows. There are 1,000 other things that come into play before you even think about getting a check. Times are changing, so that should be reflected across the board. That's right. That's right. Maybe 6 at most in Texas shows, and we have huge NPC shows, right? Yeah, Kelby, you know that. The Texas shows have, 700 competitors in them. Yep. Every show, when we're talking from the bottom up, NPC shows, you're looking at, like you said, 60 men's physique and bikini and 6 open, right? Especially there's no tiers points. Athletes are going to start entering shows based purely on the athlete experience. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. I know for myself, when I'm looking at shows this year, this is what I'm looking at when I'm looking at shows. This is me personally. I'm looking at shows where my coach will be there because I want to do shows where my coach is there in person. That's what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at shows where I can have a good experience. I want to go overseas and go to these European shows because they all look phenomenal. And I want to go compete in them. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at shows where my coach is there. And of course, the judging panels too. I'm looking at judging panels. That's also a piece of it. I'm looking at the judging panels, looking at where my coach is, and looking at shows where I can have a great experience. Yeah, with Battle of Texas, it's up. See, and there's a great example. So the promoters of Battle of Texas, they do a great job at promoting their shows and the experience that they do. And 777 competitors. I mean, come on. Right? This one I knew and I never understood, but I feel such a small class. Yeah. Bodybuilding is a small class because the other classes are coming up. What does it get? That giving the promoter a crutch to pay us less if they provide a good experience. But that's the point. The point is that nobody cares what the payments are. And I know you're NPC, so you're not going to get paid as an NPC competitor anyway. You're an amateur. As a pro, no one. Let's look at C-Bomb, for example. Chris Bumstead. He is a multi-millionaire, and it's not because he has these Olympia titles behind his name. It's because of his business off stage and his persona off stage and what he does off stage. He has millions of dollars. So a $60,000 check doesn't mean anything to him. The title means something to him. Working towards a legacy and a goal means something to him. And that is the majority of the competitors in the pro circuit that are doing this for a living. They're not doing it for the prize money. They're doing it for what it helps them achieve as goals for their business off stage. Because frankly, the majority of the competitors that are at the top are competing in 1 or 2 shows a year. You can't live off of 1 or 2 shows a year. The prize money itself hasn't gone up in freaking 10 years. Not proportional to inflation and all that and cost of living. You can't live off of that. Right. So what you just mentioned here, Tasha, with the sorry, I'm reading off the screen. What about adding a package for the winners that includes like a marketing branding piece or posing clinic for that organization? They can make money. Right. Again, this right here is what I'm talking about. Having conversations like this. Having conversations like this where everybody starts making money. If I'm going into a show, I can tell you this. My social media, when I did New York, got a huge boost from doing New York Pro. That translates to dollars to me. That translates to money to me. And I didn't do shit in that show. I was last call out. I was last call out in that show, but it didn't matter. Right? And this is what I'm saying. Like when we start talking about these things, show day is one day. Athletes that want to do stuff in this business need to be making money 365. And there are ways to do that where we all benefit from it. Right? I think prize money should be better for the women, and also maybe the PR for the athletes for the sponsorships that pay the winners for a year so they can pay for the rest of the sport. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's a conversation that can be had. Again, I'm not a huge, I don't really care about the prize money. Yes, if you're going to bump the prize money up, I think you got to bump it up across the board, not just one division. That's just my 2 cents on that. But again, I don't think anybody ever goes into a show looking for the prize money. That's, again, going back to that. Like the New York Pro could do a meet the athletes tour and posing clinic. Yeah. Where they showcase the winners from each division. Sure. Absolutely. Yep. They absolutely could. That's something. That's an idea. And, and again, some of these ideas will be worth it. Some of them won't, but you won't find out until you try. That's what I had to do with Cuties Conquering the Stage, you guys. It was a risk. The first year I did it, it didn't, like I said, nothing, it didn't exist. It came out of thoughts out of my brain and my husband's brain. It didn't exist 8 years ago. Right? So it was a huge risk. But look where it is now. And every year we take a risk. Every year we take a risk because we bump everything up. Our expenses go up. Our production costs go up. Everything goes up every year. So every year it's a risk. But we always want to make it better every year. And guess what? We get a better return on it every year too. So these are the conversations, like I said, I'd like to have, because I think that there is so much out there, so much opportunity out there that we're missing. Do you have the promoters are willing to have the conversation? That's a good question. That's why I'm throwing it out here right now. Promoters, if you want to have the conversation, let's do it, right? Let's do it. We got to start thinking outside the box. Because again, right, no risk, no reward. The landscape of this competitive journey for everyone is changing. Promoters, I know you want to make money. Athletes, I know you want to make money, whether it's in prize money or elsewhere, you want to make money. Coaches, I know you want to make money. Sponsors of shows, I know you want to make money. Everybody wants to make money. Let's figure out how to do it together. Let's create better experiences. Let's make it more beneficial for everybody that comes. Let's make the fan experience better, right? All the way around, let's make it better. Again, this is why when we do Cuties Conquering the Stage, we come out of this, we have these feel-good moments and everything like that, but we also see the places where we can improve. Every year, we make it a little bit better. For those of you that are on my social media, you saw we started 8 years ago in a Staybridge Suites in their dinky-ass little conference room. That's where we started 8 years ago. We invested $5,000 in it 8 years ago. I don't even want to tell you how much we invested into it this year. Let me just put it this way. You could have bought a house with the money that we invested into it this year. Right? So my point being is that we need to have these conversations if we want to see the sport continue to grow and to grow in a positive manner for everybody, right? For everybody. Yeah, I think it would be it's a great conversation to host on podcasts. And this is the other thing too. I'm hearing these kinds of conversations happen on podcasts, on YouTube channels, on things like that. I'm hearing these things come up. So this is a thing that people want. This is a thing that every guy, every girl that is in the bodybuilding industry wants. Right? And I'm not saying this all lays on the promoter's shoulders either. But my point is if we sit down and we have a conversation, we can figure out how this can boost everyone. Right? It can help them. It can help us. And we're going to have to put the work in too. Like you just mentioned, one of the ideas that was just mentioned was having a tour with the winners of the New York Pro or something like that. Well, that means that the winners are going to have to commit to that tour as well. You as an athlete have to commit to this stuff. Right? So it's more work for everybody, but it's also more reward for everybody. I mean, I'm in it 100%. You guys know this. Like everything that I do, if I'm in, I'm in. And I'm going balls to the wall and I'm going to do it at 100%. I'm going to do it to my best of my ability. So if we put something together where this is what we decided we're going to do, I'm in. Let's go. I want this to be big. I want this to be better for everybody. Again, even the fan experience too, right? So that's my little soapbox rant on this. That's my TED Talk on this. Let's have open conversations, you guys. Let's figure this out. Let's throw some ideas up against the wall and see what sticks, right? Let's try something new. Let's try new things. Let's make this exciting, right? Sounds like there's need to be some kind of alliance organization within or outside the league to get going. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. People got to come together to make this happen. You know, people absolutely got to come together and be willing to work together. Yeah. Yep. There's so many ideas. Like this next idea that came in about the methylene bands. Yeah, there's so many things out there. But again, people do have to be able to work together. Absolutely. That's a big part of it. People got to be willing to sit down and have the conversation and work together. Yes. So I'm putting myself out there. I would love to have these kind of conversations. I would love to sit down, put pen to paper and make it work. I've got lots of ideas in my head. As you guys know, I spew a lot of them out here on YouTube all the time. You know, let's make this bigger and better. Anybody out there that listens to this, I am willing to sit down and have a conversation and figure stuff out. And I'm sure there are other people out there just like me, right? Y'all make me want to be a promoter. I'll take all your ideas, right? And, you know, and again, some of the ideas are going to be shit. It is what it is. They can't all be home runs. They can't all be winners. But the point is that you got to try something. You got to put something out there and you got to see if it works. I've had plenty of ideas that are flops, plenty. But you got to try. You got to try, right? Like we talk about, fail forward, fail forward. And with that, I didn't expect this one to be like over an hour. I thought we were just kind of wrap up, but everybody was all excited about CCTS and talking about CCTS. So I think that's phenomenal. And you guys, this really comes from a place of, I want to see us grow as a overall overarching message. You know, I want to see it better for everybody involved. And I think there's a lot of us that are out there that are just like me that would be willing to sit down and have this kind of conversation and see how we can make it happen. Right? Get the tagging on the Instagram live repost, right? Get it out there. If anybody sees this and they know somebody to send it to, and it doesn't even have to be me. Again, I don't have to be the one in on the conversation. I just want the conversation to start. I want people to start talking and being advocates for every division in this sport, not just the women. You guys know I'm a big advocate for the women. But there needs to be advocates for classic physique, for men's physique, for 212, for everyone. There needs to be advocates for everyone. And that's the only way that change occurs. Excuse me. We have to put it out there. We have to go out and say, hey, this is what I want to see happen for us. Right? So yeah, just joined us as I'm wrapping up. Yep. You can go back and watch it though. Once we finish up here, it always goes back up on YouTube so you can watch through again. So I know you gotta be in this one, right? No, like I said, I'm more than willing. I put my ideas out there all the time to anybody that will listen. So anybody that will listen, and again, I don't know all the answers. I don't. This is why I want to have the conversations. I want to know the numbers. I want to know the ins and outs. You know, I know my numbers. I know my business, but I don't know the ins and outs of everybody else's. So we have to sit down and have the conversation. Right? We have to sit down and have the conversation. And again, I think there's a lot of coaches out there that are willing to do this kind of thing. I think there's a lot of athletes out there that are willing to do this kind of thing. And I think there's a lot of promoters out there that are willing to do this kind of thing. And I would love to see it happen, even if I'm not involved. I don't care. I just want it to happen. Right? Right? Everybody, and this is what we talked about again at the awards banquet. The way that you affect change is by reaching out and reaching out to one other person, right? We just need one other person. And then that person needs to reach out to one other person. And slowly we start linking hands and we become a big group that are affecting change in a positive direction for everyone, right? So, yep. So there's lots of things. Again, we've got lots of ideas popping up in here. And this is what I'm saying. Like we can have so much, we can have these discussions. We can sit down and figure out how to make it work. Right? We can do that. And I will be honest that I have had promoters come to me in the past for ideas and ask me questions. I will say that has definitely happened. right? So we just need more of it. We just need more of it. We need to have an open dialogue. We need to have it happen on a higher scale and a bigger scale. And we need to have it happen. And we need to have people really being advocates for every division and the growth of bodybuilding as a whole. Right? Understanding who to start the conversation with is important. This is for, yep. Well, I've started it with other people and I'm putting it out there into the universe right now for anybody else that wants to join on. Right? Anybody else that wants to join on and sit down and have this conversation. Because at the end of the day, it just helps all of us. Helps every single one of us. Helps us as athletes, helps us as business owners, helps us as promoters, helps us as judges, helps us as everyone. Everybody. It helps everyone if we all grow together. Right? Manifest it. There you go. There's that word, that manifest. Yes, absolutely. Manifest. Absolutely. All right, you guys. That was a heavy one. I know. It was light and fluffy at the beginning, and then it got heavy at the end. Let's get this rolling, you guys. We got a whole new year. We got a whole new year to affect this change, to put that out into the universe, to get this stuff rolling. I don't expect things to change overnight, but we need to start talking about it and making things happen. It's one thing to sit here and bitch and complain. It's another thing to make things happen, right? It's another thing to go out there and just do it. Like we talked about before, sometimes you just need to go out there and just get started and see what happens, see what sticks, throw it up against the wall, see if it sticks. If it doesn't, we move on and throw something else up against the wall, right? Let's get some movement in a positive direction. All right. So with that, like I said, we are back to normal with our live feeds and everything. So we don't have pro shows coming up for a while, but that said, we've got plenty of things to talk about. So I will plan on getting on live again tomorrow night. I'm going to start back up on the YouTube series, everything like that too, with the Bikini Girl, the bodybuilding world, so I can get some video and picture footage and all that kind of stuff out to you. Now that I'm healthy again, we can keep things rolling. And before you know it, the Arnold's actually going to be here. The Arnold's going to be here in just a few weeks. So let's get this rolling. So I've been sleeping for 2 days, right? I slept yesterday and I slept the day before. I got really good sleep last night. Right? 100%. 100%. Let's get this moving. Let's get this change happening. Right? So with that, you guys, make sure that you keep your notifications on. You subscribe, like, comment, all of that. Give us all the support that you can. It's already done. Let's reverse engineer it. Yes. Let's go. Let's do this. Yes. I love it. Let's get it moving. And like I said, I'll keep bringing this up. You guys know when I get on these lives, I go on my little tangents sometimes, but it's for a reason. I want awareness brought about that this needs to happen. Right. So let's get it moving. Let's get it rolling in the right direction. Right. If anything, I mean, we got cuties off the ground 8 years ago and it keeps getting better. So I keep referring back to that as what we need to do with the rest of the bodybuilding world too. Right. So I will let you guys go for tonight. Get thinking, get those ideas popping and let's get this rolling. Let's get some change happening. Right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night tonight. I will see you guys back here tomorrow and we'll roll into this new year. Again, be ready because the athlete search is coming next. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 8:15. All right. I'm going to log off of Instagram first. Here we go. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.